All right, let's get comfortable. Sit on the back of the heels of your feet with your back straight up, gazing forward, bending onto those toes, applying pressure on the top of your feet, relaxing. We won't be here for much longer. And from this point, let's get onto all fours. Tap the top of your feet on the mat to release the pressure. And I encourage you to have a look at the screen because I will be demonstrating some mild to intense wrist stretches. So with your fingertips facing either sides of the long end of your mat, rock from side to side. As you'll notice, I'm rocking anti-clockwise, and then I proceed to a clockwise rotation. But you're welcome to do it at will, whether you prefer to move back and front, side to side, or rotate. It's entirely up to you. Okay, let's intensify the wrist stretch. So let's rotate our hands again so that the fingers are facing the back short end of the mat, facing forward. If you want to, you can rock side to side or front to back. We won't be there much longer. Release it. One last time, we are going to just apply a bit of massaging to the tops of our hands. So with your wrists or the top of your hand facing the mat, rest on your wrists and slowly and gently rock front to back. Okay, release your hands, shake them out. If you've never done this before, it may feel very intense. It's always intense for me. So I'm shaking it out, just release all the tension. All right. So from here, let's get onto all fours. We'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. For every alternating cat and cow, breathe in and out. And you're welcome to do as many as you would like, or you can follow me on the screen. I'm only doing a few rounds of cat and cow. All right, let's flatten our backs and get onto our tabletop position. Extend your right leg back. You're welcome to stay in this pose. It's a very easy balancing pose. Or you can challenge yourself by extending your left arm forward. Okay, release the pose, and if you'll notice what I'm doing, I'm moving swinging rather, my right leg to the left-hand side, gazing over my left shoulder. I'm not staying there for much longer. Release the mild twist. Now let's move to the other side. Extend your left leg back and your right hand forward in your mild balancing pose. Release the hand to the mat and swing your left leg towards the right hand side. Have a peek to the screen to see what I'm doing. As you'll notice, I gaze over my right shoulder. Release the twist and return back to your all fours position. Okay, release the all fours and sit on the heels of your feet, this time with your feet flat, the top of your feet flat. We won't be there for much longer. That's just to give us a bit of a short break. And immediately from there, proceed to downward facing dog. Remember, with downward facing dog, the most important part of it is your hips as high as possible. Your legs need not be straight. You can have as much of a bend as possible. Now you'll notice I'm transitioning to a high plank, and I'm taking it further. So you can stay in your high plank, or you can raise your right leg up, drop your right leg, and let's alternate to the left leg, gazing forward. Drop your left leg and back to downward facing dog. Straight arms, hips high. Your legs need not be straight. If there's a slight bend in your knees, that's perfectly fine. All right, from your downward facing dog, let's walk our feet towards our hands. You'll notice that I'm gesturing that I'm going to grab my opposite elbows, and I've just grabbed my opposite elbows into dangling pose. I'm alternating from side to side, just applying a bit of a stretch to our hamstrings, releasing some tension in our lower backs. And hold the dangle pose, breathing in and out. From your dangle pose, I'm going to introduce something new. So this is called gorilla pose, and if you look at the screen, I'm demonstrating what that looks like. So slipping your hands underneath your feet and just holding it in that pose. Straight legs or slight bend in your legs in a forward fold position. Breathing in and out while you hold this pose. All right, release your feet underneath your feet, hands on your shins, flat back, gaze forward, forward fold. Hands back on your shins, flat back, gaze forward, forward fold. And I'm moving my feet together, but you can keep it hip distance apart. Hands back on your wrist, forward fold. And raise your hands up to the sky. And release your hands next to your body. So from here, we're going to do a one-legged balancing pose. So raise your right leg up. If you want to, you can leave your hands to the side, or you can grab your shin as I'm doing. I'll take it even a step further, and this will provide us with an even more of a hip stretch. So moving your hands slowly towards the bottom of your feet, grabbing the bottom of your feet, press your knees up towards your head, flat back, gaze forward, breathe in and out. Okay, release it, shake your right leg out, raise your hands up to the sky, flat back, forward fold, hands in your shins, gaze forward, forward fold, raise your hands up to the sky, and relax. So when I say relax, I mean either pre hands, or you can relax your hands next to the sides of your body. Okay, so we've done the right hand side. Let's move and do exactly with the opposite side. So raising your left leg up. I'm grabbing my shin, but I will progress to grabbing the bottom of my feet and just pulling my leg up towards my head in a standing one-legged balancing pose. All right, release that foot, shake it out. We shake our shoulders, just relax our body, breathing in and out. All right, so I'm going to do a bit of a demonstration with the front view. All right, so I'm demonstrating or showing the points that you should be putting your feet for a tree pose. So you can either put the soles of your feet below your knee, never at the location of your knee, either below your knee or above your knee, whichever is more comfortable for you. I'll take it even a step further. So you can either stand in a prayer position with your feet in your tree pose or your tree balancing pose. I'm raising my hands up to the sky, interlacing my fingers, palms facing up. And as you can see, I'm rocking from side to side. I've released the pose and relaxing. If you fall out the pose, that's perfectly fine. Just try to get back into the pose. Let's do the opposite side. So in this case, our left leg is either below or above the knee. And I will do a version of tree pose with my arms up to the sky, fingers interlaced, palms facing up towards the sky. Right, let's release that tree pose. Shake our left leg, relax our hands next to our body. And we've done two balancing poses now. So let's raise our hands up to the sky, forward fold. Hands on our shin, flat back gaze forward, forward fold, and raise your hands up to the sky. I'm extending it into a wide-legged pose and setting myself up for Warrior 2. So if you're not familiar with the names of the poses, have a look at the screen and you'll notice I'm positioning myself in Warrior 2. So immediately to Revolving Warrior, and I'm moving quite fast into Triangle Pose. So Triangle Pose, you can either put your hands on your shin or you can drop your hands or your fingertips to the ground. That was an immediate action. I windmilled the hand that was up straight to the ground and setting myself up for a half split. All right, hands on your shin, forward fold, raise your hands up to the sky, pray your hands, and relax your hands next to the side of your body. Okay, I've got a bit of heat that I've built up here. So we're going to do the same sequence now, moving towards the opposite side. And please try to follow with me. Now, raise your right leg up into a one-legged balancing pose and immediately proceed to Warrior 3. Drop your hands to the ground, drop your left leg to the ground or foot to the ground. And let's just hold it there for a few seconds. Okay, immediately proceed to Downward Facing Dog. Okay, let's move our right foot forward. So now the left foot is back. Gazing forward, stretching out those hips into your One-legged standing half split. Breathe in and out. Drop the lifted foot to the mat, hands on your shins, forward fold, raise your arms up to the sky, and relax. From this point onwards, I encourage you to watch the screen. I'm going to be moving quite fast. Raise your left leg up into a warrior 3. Breathe in and out. Into a half split. Drop your left foot to the mat. Then swivel that back foot into a wide-legged stance. And we're going to set ourselves up for a warrior 2 and then immediately to a triangle. So we weren't in that warrior 2 for very long. Immediately to triangle. This is just the reverse of what we did on the opposite side. Let's hold that triangle. Breathe in and out. Warrior 2 legs, revolving warrior, and straight into not my best warrior pose. I could do better. I love to watch myself doing these asanas so I can improve on my sequencing and poses. Okay, let's move to the top end of the mat. Hands on your shin, flat back, gaze forward, and drop your knees into a wide-legged balancing pose, or you can get straight into a yogic squat. So we're not long there. Straight legs, hands on your knees, flat back, gaze forward, forward fold, and raise your arms up to the sky, and relax your hands next to the sides of your body. This one I'm pushing a bit more. Let's get straight immediately into chair pose. So the trick with chair pose is your knee should not be over your toes. You'll notice me gesturing in this video. Release the chair pose. And we're going to get into what is called standing figure 4. I'll demonstrate for you. So raising your right foot just above your knee and dropping down. I've got a bit of a trick where I grab my toe of the foot that is balancing on the knee. And if you want to take it further, standing there, straighten your leg and forward fold. Release the standing figure 4 and relax. Let's do the opposite side. So facing the front of your mat, let's get into chair pose and have a look. I'll gesture down that your knees should not be over your toes. If you look down and it's over your toes, you've gone a bit too far forward. Move those knees back. Release your chair pose. And let's do standing figure 4 on the opposite side. So left leg up, left foot above your right knee, resting on that right knee, and proceeding to a version of a chair pose. This gives you an alternative view of this pose. As you'll notice, I grab my big toe just to maintain the balance. Gazing forward. And if you want to, you can straighten your leg and forward fold. Release the forward fold, release the pose, shake that leg out, and relax. So a bit of commentary quickly before we move on. So there was a lot of specific poses that we did, and that was to set ourselves up for the peak pose, which is crow pose. So let's get into a balancing squat onto our toes. If you're unable to do that, you can either balance with your fingers touching the ground to give yourself some stability, or with prayer hands if you are able to balance yourselves on your toes. There was a reason why we did the wrist massages, all the hip opening poses. It was all to set ourselves up for the final pose, also called a peak pose, and that is crow pose. So I'm now in butterfly pose and just flapping the wings of my butterfly, just breathing in and out with a straight back. Okay, release the butterfly pose, straighten your legs while seated. And I'm just stretching my calves and hamstrings a bit by grabbing my toes. And let's proceed immediately to a happy baby pose. So a happy baby, you can either grab your toes or the back of your legs. If you feel as if you want to take it further, you can alternate by stretching your legs in the happy baby pose, or as I'm doing, I'm stretching both legs in a version of happy baby pose. Release happy baby, bring the soles of your feet together, grab or hug your knees towards your head, grab the bottom of your feet and just rock back and forth into a cross-legged seated position. And we'll set up now for our peak pose. So for your peak pose, I would like you to move your body towards the back of the mat into a squat, and I will be moving very quickly into crow pose and just talking you through it. So as you notice, I'm resting my palms on the mat and then bringing my knees just above my elbow, big toes together, facing as far forward as I can, not holding it for too long, back into that toe version, balancing malasana or squat, back into our classical squat malasana, and let's do another crow pose. So if you are feeling brave, you can get straight to crow pose, or you can set up some blocks, rest your forehead on the blocks and try to mimic the pose until you feel comfortable getting into this balancing pose. Okay, I'm only going to be doing it twice. So let's release the toe squat and relax onto our heels with our feet flat on the mat. Okay, immediately let's get onto our back. As you'll notice on the screen, I'm lying up on my back, outstretched, and I think I will want to probably do just one more pose before we end the sequence. So bring our right knee towards our chest and release, our left knee towards our chest and release, and bring both knees towards our chest, hug it in, breathing in and out. And the last pose that I will set myself up for is a bridge pose. I'll do two variations. So the one version of bridge pose is I'm grabbing the front of my feet and just raising my body up in bridge pose. And the second bridge pose would be a classical version of bridge pose where I interlace my fingers at the bottom of my body. So this one is the first version, grabbing the front of your feet, breathing in and out, and I immediately move to the alternate version, interlacing my fingers and holding the bridge pose. Right, this brings us to the end of this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Set yourself up for Shavasana, get yourself comfortable. This is the part where I leave you. I hope that this video has helped you greatly with attempting the crow pose, and wishing you well. Thank you.